This is day 346, the Creole Girl. She was born in Lafayette on September 20th, 1936. The storm years were fading. The dust was settling. The world felt scorched and restless. Old houses with white columns slowly gave way to cinder block and steel. The old ways bent under pressure from new ideas, new roads, new rules. She arrived in that gap between eras, the forgotten middle, not the children of breadlines and dust storms, not yet the children of the post-war boom. She watched the world take a breath and then catch fire again. Her mother was mixed in blood and story, her skin a gentle brown that glowed like sun did after a hot summer day on the bayou. Her father's people claimed French and claimed it proudly. She was born Creole, which meant she belonged everywhere and nowhere. Too white to be accepted as black, too black to ever pass as white. One drop drew lines on paper and lines on faces. At school she sat where the law said to sit, and still she stood out as the light-skinned girl that did not belong to anyone. Anger found her, resentment learned her name. She took the bruises home and did not report them because a whispered threat lives louder than a shouted plea. If she told, they would mar her pretty face. They would take what they could not stand to see. So she learned another way to fight, quiet and steady, one heart at a time, one enemy at a time. Sometimes her hands did the talking, but most days she used work and bread and the soft mercy of a steady gaze. The bayou makes its own kind of child, charitable, long-suffering, quick with a meal and a mop. There was always a clean room and a fresh bed for a wandering stranger. If someone knocked, she opened. If someone spat, she listened. And if someone hated her, she treated them better than they deserved. Not because she was a fool, because she was free. Her father set the line at the front door. The French kin could come to the yard and look through the window, but they would not step inside as long as their eyes were cold towards his wife. They peered in, counting children like beads on a chain, and he kept that door closed. Southern gentleness be damned. Love demanded its own manners. She grew, and the river of her life found a man. He was from Chicago, a black man, handsome and charming. He was an entrepreneur in spirit with the calm confidence of his father and the determined pride of his mother's family. She loved him because of his laugh, his charm, and how his smile could light up a room. He loved her because she would not bend. Once again, she was not accepted. The white girl, they said, stole their black man. Her new family looked her over with guarded eyes. She was beautiful inside and out, and beauty can bring out the mean humor in the weak. So she kept on with what she knew. She cooked, she cleaned, she cared. She brought help to any sister in winter and soup to any brother who was sick with fever. She was first to sweep after a storm, first to hold the hand of the dying, first to arrive when the call came. Time kept moving like the tide under the cattails. The laws changed, the roads widened, the voices around her softened. It was not simple and it was not quick, but it was real. She watched her children and then their children receive more open rooms, more even ground. She saw faces that once tightened and now relax. She saw the brightness in young eyes remain bright, not dimmed by the old insult that had shadowed her own. She knew the world still had its cruelties. She also knew that love outlasts them. Now the girl is not a girl. She's 89, and the family is gathered. There's a cake on the table and sunlight on the tile and the smell of gumbo on the stove. She is one of the last from that little bayou cabin in Lafayette. Most of her 12 brothers and sisters have already crossed the water. Their children are here, though, their grandchildren as well, and even some of their great-grandchildren. The room is crowded in the best way, hands on shoulders, children underfoot, the air full of stories. Someone lifts the cake, and the candles make her face glow like a river lantern. She looks around the circle and thinks of the window her father guarded, and of the doors she learned to open. She thinks of the old world crumbling and the new world rising on the same ground. She thinks of the ones who tried to hurt her and how some of them ended up at her kitchen table. She thinks of the man from Chicago and the laughter that still hangs in the rafters. She thinks of the children, bright-eyed and unafraid. They sing. She draws a breath. The flame flutters. He makes no grand wish. She has already lived it. She found a way to belong by making room for others. She fought without becoming what she fought against. She chose kindness again and again until the choice felt like strength. Then she blows and the room breaks into cheers, and for a moment, even the past stands up and claps.